Well, students, we're gonna keep working on these buildings today. The first thing I would like you to do is just set your building aside. I'm gonna give you a piece for your roof. I would like you to use a drop of water, and I would like you to do a little bit of smoothing. So smooth the top, be gentle, one drop will do it. And then you can pick it up. You can do the sides as well. And flip it over and do this part too. I'm gonna give you a little piece of paper like this because it'll make it easier to make sure that your roof doesn't get stuck to the table. And so it'll be easier to attach the roof to the building. Once it's nice and smooth, then I'm gonna put the designs on it. There are gonna be a lot of different ways to do designs. You could do a pattern that repeats. You could use, there's 4 different tools here that you can use, and I'm gonna show you how they're gonna work in different ways. So let me set this one aside, and I'm just gonna use this as just like an example piece of clay, so you can see a couple things. So this tool, if you put your finger on the end of it, it would make a curved line. If you were to use this tool, if you use it this way, it makes little rounded lines, but if I flip it over, it would make a different design. If you were to use this tool, this one makes straight lines with this side, but it makes broken lines with this side, so this could make a cool pattern of straight line, broken line. Let's see what else. This one makes kind of triangular, almost diamond shapes. And then this side would do kind of a curved line, but if you flip it over, it makes another kind of line. So those are just all different ways it can be used. I'm gonna choose to do mine with this tool, and I'm gonna try to space this out and make sure that I'm gonna be able to fit enough. So even before I made it, I just kind of visualize that I can fit 4 of these. So I can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I can go in between it. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna make a pattern out of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now you can probably notice my tool is getting a little bit stuck to the clay. If the clay is too wet, then it will stick to the clay. So you want to make sure that sometimes if you just were to flip it over and use this side instead, that side would be more dry. Now I've got my design on it. I'm going to decide, am I going to make it a diamond shape, or am I going to make it a flat roof? You can decide what you think is going to be best. I kind of want to do, and I can decide which way I want my roof to go as well. So I think that diamond shape looks pretty cool like that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set this on top, and I'm going to flip it over so that it's staying the way that I want it to be. And I'm going to take my stick tool and I'm going to trace around it. I'm going to slide this up a little bit. I'm going to take it off so you can see there's a little line right there. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to score this, making a rough texture. Then I'm going to put a rough texture on the inside of the circle. And then I need to make my slip, and I can make a little bit of slip here too. Then I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'm going to put them together. I'm just going to kind of wiggle it just a little bit, get those to stick. Now hopefully you're able to see this in this example. I'm going to just roll the clay down just a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it. So I just continue. I'm going to move the water cup out of the way, but I'm just kind of turning it and I'm rolling it together. Let me bring it up a little higher closer to the video example, but I'm just kind of rolling that clay together, but it works best if it's on the table because the table and the paper then makes it so it just slides easily, and I'm just gonna roll it together, turning it, getting all of those edges to stick together. Now, once I do that with my stick tool, we know our best smoothing tool is our finger. So carefully smooth it with your finger, turn it, and be careful not to smush the edges. Once I do that, I can take this and I can take this off. You can see my roof is on there, but it did smush the sides a little bit. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna smooth those edges with my finger. I can put the water cup back. And I'm gonna make those edges look really nice. Now this still looks a little bit bumpy. So use your finger and turn it in your hand. It's way better than setting it on the table as I'm trying to reach under here, other than when it's on the paper. And even here, I can take this and just kind of smooth that out with my stick tool. Usually, that's the main reminder I need to give, is just do some more smoothing. Do more than you might think, just to make sure that it really looks like your best. Get under there. Now, once it's smooth, check those edges one more time. And if there's time, this is all you need to have done, is have your roof on. If there's time, you could cut out a couple windows. So I eventually will put some paper clips at your spot, and I don't want you to do more than 4. So you can take your finger, and this is how big we would want them to be, as a finger size. So I would take my finger, make a little mark. I can take my paper clip and I can stick it inside, and I just do like a backward C shape, like that, and then I can do a forward C shape, come back around, and either you can pull it through, or sometimes it won't pull out, and you can just take a tool and push it through and then reach in and you can get that extra piece out. One nice thing about doing circle windows is that your finger's a circular rounded shape, so it's easy to just smooth it that way. Now, if you really want to do a different sized window or different shape, you may. Just make sure it's not that you can't put more than one finger inside. So you could do a triangle or a square. I'm not going to show that example because it takes a lot more smoothing to do. You can always take this too and just make it nice and smooth on the inside. And I would not put 2 windows right next to each other. I would always think, well, if this one is here, maybe I'm going to put another window down here, and you can see that there's a big space between them. So I could take this, make a finger mark, make the clay tool go through, do a backward C, and then do a forward C. So the main thing about these windows is that you should not do more than 4 of them. They should not, oh, if it doesn't go through, cut it one more time. So back to what I was saying, don't do more than 4. Please don't put them too close together, and they should not be bigger than your finger. You can see now that one is cut out now. Take your finger, you can smooth it, you can even use your stick tool, kind of going around in a circle, and then that will smooth it better. So I only did 2. I'm going to do an example next week of cutting a couple more, but if I have one here and one there, maybe I put one here and one here so they're all far apart. We'll talk about doors later. So main thing, getting your roof on, and if you have time you can cut a window or 2. So, and I'll give you some directions on cleanup too. When we're done, most likely I'll have you take the big tools. There's 4 of them. You can put the rubber band around them, and then just keep your stick tool and your paper clip separate, and we'll return the extra clay. So let's have fun working on these.